Hi guys, it's Breckley here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be doing an analysis of the FNAF Secret of the Mimic interview by Dawko with Steel Studios. Now, I have already watched this interview, but we're going to be doing an analysis on it. Apparently Alien Isolation has influenced this gameplay so much. When I first heard back when it came to this interview, I was like, that I was like, wait a second, wasn't that one of the main criticisms for SB that it wasn't anything like Alien Isolation? So I'm glad they've taken that into consideration. Yeah, Dawko is very excited about FNAF. Like he is really the secret of the mask. Thanks for adding timestamps, by the way. I wouldn't like just get to certain parts. Apparently, wait, Steel was actually given 90% creative control over Secret of the Mimic. Is that he can now go in mostly blind and join the game alongside us. So the game is a pretty cool that I think Nat William is still alive. In that timeline, yes, William probably would be alive, but he's dead after FNAF 6, and the William after we supposedly see is actually everyone's favorite character, Vincent Signature. Okay, we're not saying the full name.
Hey guys, it's Dawko.
Hello there, Dawko.
Very special video for you today. I am so honoured to be interviewing Steel Studios again. This time I've got Evan with me, and we're going to be talking about Secret of the Mimic. So yeah, very excited. I've been looking forward to this game for so long. We got the trailer a couple of months ago, and it looks insane. And everybody's hyped up. And
by the way, has anyone noticed that area there with the boxes on top and the cardboard cutouts, that looks a bit similar to when we first entered the Mimic's lair in like the caverns, you know, that bit before we go near Candy Cadet. And then the Candy Cadet room kind of looks a bit like Fazbear Frights with the whole rubble and stuff, but I don't know. Because some people have been theorizing that like the factory is actually underneath the East Fredbear's, but I don't believe that's the case because where in the hell would they ship the Mimic off to? Wasn't the whole point to retrieve the Mimic to ship off the Fredbear's or something? Because that's the whole, yeah.
In June. So yeah,
same security doors as that was the same security doors as what's it called? Security breach. Yeah, security breach is a bit suspicious.
Yeah, great to see you. Yeah, great to see you as well.
Let's go.
I love your posters in the back, by the way.
I'm very surprised that the actual what's Jason Todd Ploxty and like Ray and A didn't do this interview, but this guy is probably the director behind this game, so it probably makes sense.
The way the FNAF Hello Neighbor as well.
This is my help wanted one. That's what I need.
Yeah, you need a help wanted.
Yeah, you need a help wanted one, mate.
Help wanted free as well.
Help wanted free. What do you think a Help Wanted Free would actually be about? Like, is it gonna be about Vincent Sigma trap on his Tootman Mail grind set or something?
How's it going? Like, how's everything going so far with Secret of the Mimic and just Steel Studios as a whole?
It's going really great. You know, things are getting all crazy, kind of close to launch. You know, we're in the home stretch. Everyone's working super hard. The team is working incredibly hard to polish things up, and you know, it always gets wild, but it's all coming together, and it's really great to see it. You know, I think we've been doing play testing and stuff, and
play testing, you say? Sorry, guys, I had to pause during that. I just got flashbacks to security breach. That's all.
Trey, you know, the regular sauce. He's been doing his tests, and it's so much fun to watch.
Wait, he's the one testing the game? Oh, I better get credited, and I'll just start saying random names in the credit section while screaming my absolute head off because I'm absolutely that passionate about FNAF.
It's about halfway through the game, and he already says it's his favorite sequel game ever. So that makes me
that is amazing.
Very happy. What's funny is he hasn't even gotten to the coolest parts yet. You know, don't tell him though.
The coolest part, that means all the secrets.
Oh, it's so exciting. I love the regular source, and yeah, that's so amazing to hear that
I didn't even notice Dawko with the Nightmare in it too
it's a
strong.
Steel game. I'm so excited to play it. I really am. So, what was it like developing this game, like branching out to something completely different that we haven't really seen in FNAF before, like the prequel to everything that we know so far? And
By the way, has anybody not know? There's only only 10 people that've noticed this, but Secret of the Mimic is just basically security breach all over again. Jackie is like Tangle. There's a person with weird eyes and a kind of with a white mask stalking you. There's animatronics that are going rogue because of a rogue program causing the animatronics to go rogue, and then there's yeah. So that means if Secret of the Mimic is meant to parallel security breach, then that means that we might see Vincent's Sigma Trap in this game, since, well, if the game doesn't take place in 1970s and we've been trolled into believing it by Steelwall, the classic Scott Coffin, then we probably will see the Springlock Mimic, but it'll be an illusion disc, and it'll actually be Scorch Trap, Vincent Scorch Trap himself. Or if this is in 1970s, we'll see Vincent and the Springlock Mimic, and then we'll see William Afton's Springlock Vincent in the Springlock Mimic spring bodysuit, which is the origin of Burn Trap. So that'll be very cool, see? As well as Mimic.
and stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Really interesting to explore this new setting in the 70s time period. These new characters with Edwin and.
I'm pretty sure Steelwall always wanted to do a prequel game, didn't they? But that was set in the 70s or something. I remember them saying something like that. But going on Vincent's Sigma Trap again, I am very when it comes to the Mimic. It turns out in the books that when Edwin asked it something, it nodded in reply, which is something he didn't tell it to do, meaning the Mimic was getting more intelligent. And presumably that was David who was the reason why the Mimic is alive, because it's his emotions that are making the Mimic alive. But contrast this with Sprintlock Mimic, and then Vincent's Sprintlock Mimic, which I have theorized to be the end of the skeleton of Burn Trap, where it's literally just Vincent again with you see, the reason why the Sprintlock Mimic was, despite being this grand project that Vincent kept hyping up, it turned out to be a failure, because it was apparently, as we all know, it wasn't really that intelligent in the end. The reason why Mimic gained his intelligence was probably from David and his emotions, but since all Vincent felt was hatred, sadness, and misery, basically the Springlock Mimic became a dark reflection of him. But anyway, let's stop diverging off the VST lore. We can discuss that in a later video. We don't need to discuss Vincent's Sigma Trap lore yet. Let's go to the interview.
The origins of the Mimic, right? It's great because we get this opportunity to explore a side of the FNAF universe that nobody's ever seen before. Yeah, very exciting for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think loads of people are excited as well, because I've always wanted a game just before everything, before a FNAF Origins style game.
Yeah, I kind of already knew about Dawko.
So, yeah, I'm super excited. One thing I wanted to talk about is Ruin. So I know so many people had a positive reaction to Ruin and the vibes of Ruin. Do you guys think you took on those positive reactions from Ruin to?
By the way, I am pretty interested. I don't really think Ruin was that good of a game, but it did have a more positive reflection than Security Breach.
Yeah, absolutely. We've always talked about, as we were concepting this game, keeping the tone darker.
Darker, guys. Gaster reference. Darkness. Say it not reference. Vincent Sigma. Okay, I better stop doing this.
I will say there's a little bit less linear than Ruin was.
Ooh, a little bit less linear.
Really interesting horror elements there, right? The game is much more claustrophobic than some of the games in the past, which I think we really liked.
Because when I was at PAX, I played Secret of the Mimic in VR, right? but from the trailer, it looks like it's flat mode. Are you doing both VR and flat mode on launch, or has things changed?
Yeah, we pivoted a little bit. We're launching in flat, Steam and PS5 flat, and we'll take the VR coming after launch sometime.
Hey, that's awesome, because I get to play twice over video, so thanks for that.
Yeah, and I get to actually put my PlayStation 5 VR headset to good use, man.
Yeah, because I was worried, like, if both came out at the same time, I was like, okay, what am I going to do first? Am I going to do VR first? Am I going to do flat mode first? So yeah, that's all.
Better doing flat mode first, because that was the problem with the VR titles, is that it wasn't that easily accessible.
Also, I can do both then, that's amazing. So, to be fair, I was probably going to do both.
Hey, if there's the secret Vincent Sigma Trap ending, are we gonna, like, when Secret of the Mimic comes out, when we do the secret VST ending, are we gonna, like, go in VR? I want to do it in VR to see Vincent up all close and personal, you know, that's how I feel.
Anyway, but it's a bit easier now if they're releasing at separate times, so yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, as you saw on that PAX, you know, the game looks great in VR. It's super scary in VR. It's really, really great, but it's very challenging to develop both VR and flat at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, these are different mediums, right? They have their strengths and weaknesses, right? The tech and the art and the design. You know,
Yeah.
it's challenging to keep both of these tracks.
Wait, how much have the
bugs
bugs been taken into consideration? Hold on, let me just skip to this one. This one's a bit important.
Lore about the Mimic and Edwin.
Okay, this is the one I really wanted to...
Did you take that for this game?
Yeah, you know, we've actually been talking about making this game for a long time, and we were developing
This is what interested me the most.
the game kind of while these books are coming out.
That is what interested me the most, what he said about we were developing the game while the books were coming out. That is very interesting.
So, yeah, I will say
that adds more fuel to the fire for the ST theory, doesn't it?
it's interesting. Again, we'll go into like the books and all of that, but it's interesting to work kind of in dual mediums.
That's awesome. I'm going to take a pit stop because Steelwall have gave me 2 posters to share during this interview.
Ooh,
and I feel like now would be a nice time.
Alright, one of these posters is important, by the way. The VST theory. We're gonna do it right now.
First one. This is the first poster, and I'm going to show...
Not this one, though. It's the last one. That's important. However, this one is also important because the data diver... I have a theory. So, VST theory has I have an updated VST theory a bit, which is the Sigma Trap theory. That has been a theory in the works for like many moons or something, but I have this data diver is very important to VST theory, because if this data diver is what caused a security problem in the facility, which caused the MCM incident that Vincent caused, then this is the key to VST theory. So I found this interesting.
Poster around the end of the interview, so you guys have to stay tuned and look out for that. So yeah, the first poster that Steelwall sent me. Thank you, by the way, Steelwall. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Steelwall.
It is a poster saying "Locked Out." Your data diver is the key. So, my first theory looking at that is that data diver has a bunch of keys on the poster as well.
It's a gameplay mechanic, isn't it? But it's also lore heavy on VST.
I'm guessing it's basically might be a mechanic where you can use the data diver to unlock doors and explore and stuff like that.
You're not far off.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And it obviously has a more than a passing resemblance to the Faz Wrench.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for confirming that, by the way, Steelwall.
Not unintentional, yeah.
Yes.
It's a prototype.
Yeah,
it's an early version.
As well, on the trailer and stuff too, that it's very similar to that. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, you did say previously as well that it's less linear than Ruin. So are we going to go? I'm guessing that's more exploration in the factory and stuff. So
yeah. Absolutely, yeah. We talk about this game. We talk about it in layers, and that applies to both the narrative and the gameplay. There is what we call the golden path, right? It's the
I don't know what I just
line
did.
that you would go to complete the game. You can follow that path.
Yeah.
But
oh no, this is just a location. This is going to be like Sister Location, where Ron is actually going to be Vincent's Sigma Trap in disguise. Because they can't just do the same twist with Glitch Trap twice, where Tape Girl is actually Glitch Trap. They can't do the same twist twice with Ron, where it's the Mimic in disguise. Because why are we even retrieving them if it's the Mimic? Why does he want more bodies? He isn't that interested. Now, the theory is that it's VST himself using this Springlock Endo. And Springlock Endo, which is Vincent, is mimicking, like, Ron's voice. But that would only be for 1970s. But that would only be, like, it doesn't take place in 1970s. It would be Gaslit Theory, but it could still work, I guess, in that context, but that would require for Vincent to be still alive and still be controlling the Springlock Mimic. We'll have more details on the ST theory and what the double vision means, because Vincent and the Springlock Mimic, which are the two halves that make up Scorch Trap, or well, Sigma Trap anyway, I find it interesting how they're both the same person in a way, but I also, well, in my mind I believe they're the same person, but I also believe that the dynamic between the two is basically kind of like foreshadowed in the MCM double vision puzzle. So we'll get into that in a bit, because it has a poster in it.
There's other things to do. There's other stuff to find. I'm really curious to see
Yeah.
what people are able to find and how quickly.
Oh my god, is he setting a charge for all of us then? Yeah. Guys, let's see your predictions in the comment section. Will I, Freckly, Lee, be able to figure out when Secret of the Minute comes out in June? Comment down below your predictions on how fast I will find all the secrets in the game. If we do not do it in under 2 hours, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll just start reading the FNAF, all the FNAF Tales of the Pusaplex books live on stream, I guess. No, I can't even do that. We'll do it in a video, and then and it'll be over like 4 hours long. That'll be nice to do as a little punishment.
Yeah,
and get FNAF overload.
I'm so excited because I love stuff like that, because obviously not going to theorise about it, but like, you know, if you explore different places, you find things that might lead to a different...
Yes, I want to find the safe room in the SOTM factory and find Vincent's Sigma Trap. Because there has to be an equivalent to Scott Coffin's original intent for Burn Trap in this game, right? That has to be Vincent, right? That has to be VST. I hope if the Burn Trap like thing is, I'm not really sure of it. I don't think it's gonna be mentioned in Secret of the Mimic. I don't think it will be revealed. But if the Burn Trap thing is brought up and they have like the person not by the name of Vincent Sigma Trap, but I'm giving the game an instant 0 out of 10 for like clickbaiting me. Don't make it as stupid as something as be like, oh, he was just named John from down the road or something. What a cooler name. Vincent Sigma Trap does it alright.
And stuff, so that is very, very exciting. Oh my god. I'm not shut up now because I'm going to be like, oh, you get to find like something that belongs to William Afton or
something that belongs to William Afton. What are we going to find?
Belongs to Edwin, and you get like a...
They didn't mention Henry. Why did you not do that? How dare you?
You know what I mean.
How dare you, Dawko?
But I'm so excited. When this game comes out, I hope you guys get to see my reaction to stuff like that. I'm gonna go insane.
I love watching the reaction videos.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go absolutely insane.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go insane. But you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go completely ballistic when I see VST on screen. I'll just start smashing my control. I'll just start like going so insane that like the audio cannot be able to capture it because of how loud it is.
Things happen that are in my head right now. How much creative input did you guys have with the story? Was Scott involved?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 90% from the comment I heard.
With the story, building it together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the best way to describe it is that we are creative collaborators, but Scott is always kind of the prime mover, right? He sits at the head of the pyramid. We've worked with him for many years now, so I think we built enough trust that he allows us to, make a lot of on-the-ground decisions as long as we're following his overarching direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know if you can answer this, but how is Scott feeling about this game? Is he excited? Is he hyped up for it?
I think it's fair to say that, yes, everyone who sees this game is very excited.
Oh, that's
That's good. That's good to hear, though.
Did you take any feedback from Help Wanted 2 as well, and
development
with that, and with Secret of the Mimic?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was one of our impetuses for making the shift to flat. It's just so that we can have everyone play the game on day one, right? One of the things we heard from Help Wanted was like, "Hey, that's great. I really want to play it, but I don't have a VR headset or something like that." Okay, well, that's a bummer, right? We want everyone to be able to experience it all together on day one, and then absolutely want to support the VR side as well. But,
Yeah.
if not everyone has a headset, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I think that's the smartest thing to do as well. So everybody can play it.
Yeah, it's good move, Steelwall. That is a very good move. I'm glad you took the criticism.
Which, yeah, that's great. A lot of people have noticed new characters, new suits and stuff.
By the way, I just noticed something. Jackie has agony tear marks. Like if you just look at her closely, you can see dark tear marks coming down her face. Not the actual tear marks that have been painted, but agony tear marks. That's interesting because she's possessed by Mimic's agony. There's Mimic 1 program.
I don't think we're even in the books, the Tale of the Pizzaplex books. So what was it like just having that freedom to do your own things and creativity? Probably mostly for the first time, making your own designs of costumes and stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's funny, right?
I'm pretty sure that some of the costumes in this game are from the books, like the red mushroom, and then there's some costumes we probably recognize from Ruin, and then there'll be some costumes from we definitely are seeing the Jester, by the way, the Mimic's go-to costume, which and we do. The White Tiger did get mentioned, has a costume in the books, so.
It takes place in a costume workshop, so you would imagine there's more than a few interesting costumes going on here. Scott really early on sent us key art that he had worked on with his artists.
Ooh, I really want to see that now. I really want to see that. I'm not leaking it, guys. Don't worry.
These creepy hallways and stuff. He said this is kind of the tone that I want in this game. And in that key art were certain characters like the Mushroom and the Jester and stuff.
The Jester. We're gonna see the Jester. Oh my god, if the Mimic goes into it and gets spring locked, that is gonna be some instant karma.
And we were like, okay, first things first, we're building these characters. So we basically took almost all of those characters and put them into 3D, built them all out. And then we said, okay, well that's some, we need more. So how are we gonna flesh out this roster here?
Did you guys also do? Yeah, you guys did the Ruin ones as well, I presume, because of the Elephant Fair.
And then we started pulling inspiration from other FNAF games and where we wanted the story to go and what sorts of things we were trying to say with the characters. And this isn't a Fazbear facility, right?
This isn't the That's interesting. VST theory confirmed. VST's theory is confirmed. So Vincent was the one who helped Edwin do the factory's MCM. Oh my god, that's confirmed.
Right, some of it can be connected, some of it's not, right?
So MCM was made by Vincent and Edwin. Vincent caught incident. Vincent comes head of it, executive. Fazbear takes over. And then, due to harsh work conditions from Fazbear, Vincent crashes out, so yeah. And gets Mimico 1 to kill everyone. Like the program, not the actual Mimic.
Scott's concepts and trying to be in that same world gives us a great kickoff point from what kind of world he wants us to be building.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've already seen online that some of the new characters are people's favourites, which is so cool to see.
Mushroom Man, guys. Maestro Man, I don't really remember all the Elephant Man. I actually think we should nickname the circus elephant Elliot the Circus Element, just because it makes sense.
I can't wait to see that.
Because that was a name for an elephant, plush in the book.
Doesn't stuff it, I don't
That was in Tiger Off, but that wasn't directly linked to Mimic.
know if we've seen them all.
No, Mimic likes to make his makes the plushies attack people for some
Oh
reason.
yeah, it's exciting. This game is the prequel, the earliest game that we've got so far in the FNAF franchise.
Yeah.
The early years of Fazbear Entertainment and stuff. So, did you any games that Scott's made or you guys have made in the past take any inspiration for the development of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we look at all the FNAF games. I mean, we are at this point we are FNAF experts, right? That's what we're paid to do. So yeah, we research very deeply into every FNAF game and look for any shreds of reference we can pull and connections we can make, because we really want this to be a contiguous part of the entire FNAF continuum, right? We don't want it to live on its own as this weird side thing.
Yeah.
But it's interesting too as we're developing the game. There are these certain themes that start re-emerging. Right, I call it thematic repetition. They say what's the saying? History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. It's sort of like that, right? These ideas that aren't necessarily direct one-to-ones, but there are these churning, narrative motifs.
Yeah, I've actually noticed that as well. Security Breach is just Glitch Trap mimicking Aftons and the entire story of FNAF. And there are so many themes that connect to this, and to this, and to this. It's just so reoccurring. It's just the same thing over and over again. It's like a mimicking cycle, a curse. My theory, now, I actually think this should apply to VST theory, because if something burning down in Fall Fest near a lake implies a curse, because it came from a horror movie once, then that would mean that this is the curse of VST, is that a certain event, specifically the MCM incident, will keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating until VST is gone. But because VST feeds off agony, off of the hatred in people's hearts, he always comes back. So, I mean, he has a better. I mean, VST has a better reason to come back than Afton, though. It's because he kind of emerges every single, I don't know how many years, but he just does. Sometimes it's earlier than others because of stuff that had happened with what I stated in the theory about the recharging station conundrum, but we're not talking about that now.
Around again, and I think we see a lot of that, and having that emerge as a prequel is a really interesting dynamic, right? What does it say about this the sequel influences the prequel?
Yes, yeah, that's awesome. How long has this been in development then? Like you said that you were working on the game early on when the books were being made and stuff. So how long has it been?
I think it was we first started talking about it kind of early 2022.
Early 2022. Early 2022. Wait, so yeah, that means the Mimic was a character they had in mind. But wait, this answers a lot of my questions I was having. So there was a theory that I had about the Mimic was that the Bird Trap retcon was not the actual intention, and that it was VST theory that was the original intention, or Gregory's conscious theory that was supposed to be the intended method of Bird Trap, because in a way, I think while they were making Ruin, the people writing the books made an error with Burn Trap and Mimic's designs, and then they got mixed up, and when they were designing the Mimic, they had already designed the Mimic, and they were like, oh no, we got the description messed up. Hey, let's just put a couple of claw marks here and there just to make it look like Burn Trap is Mimic. And then they didn't change the design and just added a little, mark where, that arm has been, taken off and destroyed off, from the Mimic's left arm and just called it a day. So, I don't think that retcon was the intent that Steel were having. I think the Mimic was, meant to be a separate antagonist. They were hyping up through the books to be in Ruin and Secret and the Mimic to be the new antagonist. But things didn't go as planned, so yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, long time ago. And but it was always in the back, right? It was always we would kick around ideas and oh maybe this, maybe that, maybe here are these story beats, does this make sense? We're talking about it while Ruin is being worked on, eventually Help 1 and 2 is being worked on. And we didn't get full active development until after Help Wanted 2. So it's been about a year and a half of like, all hands on deck, full studio active development.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like you guys have been teasing about like this like for a while with like the Fall Fest posters and stuff. It always feels like you've had it like in your head
Yeah.
for a while. Like I remember in Help Wanted 1 when you guys had the Fall Fest. I think it was Fall Fest 1983 or something like that. And everybody was saying, "What does a Fall Fest? Are we doing Fall Fest?" And yeah, it's crazy to think that was 6 years ago, and now we're finally getting something involving like that kind of thing. So
yeah, it's one of the fun things of working on a franchise like this is that we can look like really far in the future, and maybe we don't know exactly what forms things are going to take, but we kind of see where we want to go and start laying some groundwork in the games that we make.
Like you said, the game's been in development for about a year and a half, right?
That's less than Security Breach, thankfully.
Big is the game.
Sorry, I just had to pause there because it's just too funny. How big is the game? No, we're not talking about Queso, I mean as in the Security Breach situation.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's see, guys.
So, it's funny, it's so hilarious. We wanted to make a claustrophobic game. We were like, okay, let's make narrow hallways, small spaces, and originally being concepted, as a VR experience, things in VR feel a lot like bigger than they are in flat, right? In VR, you can reach your hands out and touch the walls, but if you were to make a 6-foot wide hallway in flat, it would feel very narrow, whereas in VR it feels very wide, right? So we're trying to find like the right size of this building, and we know it's going to be a character workshop, we know it's a warehouse, so there's larger spaces and smaller spaces. And so, like, early on, we okay.
By the way, is it going to be revealed that the Spring Bunny mascot costume was originally named the Easter Bunny, and that was not a mascot that was commissioned by Edwin and got commissioned by any other person, and that was actually a costume commissioned by Vincent himself, and he made it. And that's the origin of the mascot costume. It was like Spring Bunny mascot costume. I don't know, I just feel like William wouldn't really go out of his way to just commission it to like Edwin for some reason. I just feel like it's more associated with Vincent's Sigma Trap than anything else.
How big is this map compared to Security Breach? And we them, and the entire footprint of the facility could fit into.
Sorry, I'm getting flashbacks, guys.
Wow, hilarious. It's like, I thought we made a big game. But I think for us it was all about density of design, right?
Yeah.
And there's multiple stories and secret passageways, and
Yeah.
hidden false.
I would have if there's a secret passageway at the start of the game, I'm gonna go insane. That would be very funny if there was one, and then we go get a secret item or something.
So, you might find a smaller room, but it might have, a lot more going on than it would if it was the same context,
Sigma
right?
Trap time, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're foreshadowing VST being in this game with the amount of stuff they say about secrets and about, like how this connects to the books in the way.
I think,
in a way, sorry, I mean in the way. No, that's not proper English.
Criticism on Security Breach was that maybe it was too big, right?
Yeah, it was too big.
So it's really cool that you guys are doing something like that, like very claustrophobic and in its own like factory and stuff. So yeah, that is very exciting. I can't wait to find all the secrets and the hidden vents and stuff to go for.
And then we'll find Vincent's Sigma Trap in actual full 3D RTX 5090 NVIDIA GeForce 4K, 8K, 12K, 24K graphics in real VR, virtual reality textures in flat mode. Can't wait to see his fully rendered face. But don't be surprised, anyone, if he looks not exactly as the Giga Chad you wanted him to be. He may look a bit purple and maybe a bit, not really that, like, not really that, he may look a bit like he's had some sort of disease or something, and maybe limping a bit, but that's to showcase how Vincent is Burn Trap, The VST theory, guys, it runs deeper. It thickens. The lore thickens.
Okay, so
yeah, the Mimic, guys.
The books.
Yes, he is.
Just how accurate or true, are you guys going to be sticking to the Mimic, or have you like?
Okay, this is the one I wanted to hear.
Again, this might be. No, I feel like it might be spoilery, but like, have you got? Yeah, like, have you changed?
Oh, for God's sake, yeah, spoilers. Oh my God. No, he said it was spoilery, so we can't say it. Oh my God. I thought we were going to get an answer then. But no, we can't get an answer now, so we're going to have to wait another month of us arguing about the books until it eventually comes out.
Yeah.
But hey, it's only like a month away, and will it be 16 weeks holidays in June? I'm not really sure, but I think my schedule may go back to me maybe uploading a bit more often because I can't really do it as much anymore since I have like everyone who's like some of our recent subscribers may understand because they probably go to my school as well, but I'm not really gonna be uploading as often because I need to focus on catching up and stuff. But anyway,
I will say, if you read the books, you don't know the full story.
VST theory confirmed. Now that is VST theory confirmed, guys. VST theory is confirmed. VST theory confirmed. That is a no. It's not confirmed, but nearly confirmed. VST theory has an 80% chance to be in this game. Actually, is it 50% chance? Because I don't think this is going to be in this game. I don't know why. There's always the theories they end up making not actually turn out to be true, but anyway, yeah, VST is going to end up being in this game. I hope he does anyway. That would make the story so much better.
Perfect.
Yep, perfect.
It seems like you guys
Yeah, because the main criticism people have were like, well, we already know about the Mimic. What's his big secret going to be? But now Steel Wolf told us that we don't have the full story. It makes a lot of sense now as to what the secret is going to be.
I know you guys are doing something like Edwin's factory's separate, right? But it feels like you all.
Wait, Edwin's factory is separate from this warehouse? Oh no, is he talking about the Edwin's factory is the thing in the background in the warehouse of the Queen Anne mansion done up, yeah.
So still trying to connect it with the FNAF universe at the same time?
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't go into too much detail.
Yeah.
But I will say this game was made for FNAF fans.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there is a lot of connection if you want to look for it.
Do you know, like,
VST, guys.
average projected length on how long the game's going to be?
If it's about like 100 hours long, we're not playing the game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're doing.
Well, I bet it's gonna be only 16 hours long, but it'll be like, but because of how much I don't really go into games that much blind. I usually spoil myself on purpose, and then I know a lot about the game before going into it. But if I go into something blind in a video game, you know it's gonna like take 1,000 or 100 hours for me to complete it because I'll keep looking for secrets like everywhere, and because of the fact that I may be looking for secrets in like a game like FNAF Secret the Mimic, I may get a bit paranoid to the point where I keep just just moving the camera like 360 degrees all the time because I just want to find something or trying the brightness up just to find anything because I want to find the secrets that bad, you know. That's what a FNAF lore does to you, makes you a FNAF insane person, you know, makes you a FNAF overloader.
Regular Sauce playthrough, and he's 6 hours in. I'd say he's about halfway through.
Ooh, wait, 6 hours halfway. That means 12 hours. That means 12 hours, so it's manageable. I think we could do it in like if I divide, yeah, we could do it across. If we divide it into 4, then we'll do 3 hours each part. But I think PlayStation 5 will only allow us 1 hour, so we may have to upload 2 parts. We'll just see how it goes at first. We may as well. I just wanna be the first one to upload like part 1. One of the first people to upload part 1. So then I can like get millions of views on like one of my videos, but I don't think that ends up happening anyway, so we'll just yeah. I wanna be the first one to find the secrets, but I may as well just consult Dawko, the fellow British man, for it.
To the main line of the game, which I would say he won't even discover half the game at that point. So Yeah, we're looking at maybe like 8 to 10 hours for a single playthrough, and that's just like I said, like baseline.
Yeah.
You could probably go 15 to 20 hours, and if you want to be a completionist about it.
Oh wow.
Okay, so that's gonna be 5 days then. Wait, no, if I divide it across 1 hour, that would be like 20 days of me discovering. No, I can like get stuff done in an hour, like try and complete a chapter in like an hour. Are there gonna be chapters in this game, like chapter select stuff? Because I really wanna. Yeah, I think we could do like chapters a day and see if we're on a chapter or not by exiting out of the game and then saving it, because then we can do that to be able to, yeah. End the path as well.
Is this game challenging at all?
The game is challenging because of Vincent Sigma Trap, like, hunting us every 2 minutes with, like, I don't know, with, like, a Kamehameha and, like, a garlic gun and the final flash and whatever else he has in store for us, then it's over, guys. It's just too hard. Because if Vincent Sigma Trap is basically, like, the Mr. X of the game, where he keeps on hunting you down, and he just appears out of nowhere behind a wall and just starts chasing you, or maybe releases off missiles or supernovas or whatever weird superhuman abilities he has on you, then the game will become extremely hard. But Jackie kind of already serves that purpose anyway, so we'll see what Jackie does anyway.
Is there some hard moments that's probably going to make me cry?
Yeah.
On camera.
I want to.
Yeah. So we talk about layers.
Yes.
So there's like the top layer. You can stay at the top if you want, and the game is moderately challenging. It's what we would expect, like someone who's maybe never played a FNAF game before.
Yeah.
They come in, they play the game, they have a good time, they beat the game, they get the credits, and good job. But again, that's only the top layer. And as you go deeper, we're going to start, maybe asking for a little bit more effort. I don't think it'll be like, UCN or anything.
Oh no, don't drink a Dawko, man.
Definitely, there's some more challenge the deeper you go.
So yeah, like you said, like there's like a top layer. So do you think this is easily accessible for new FNAF fans who haven't played a FNAF game?
Right, let's see if this will.
Just dive in.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? And from a narrative way as well, right? We want to, you tell a story that everyone can understand, even if they've never played a FNAF.
Yeah, because I remember Queso going and watching the FNAF Secret of the Mimic trailer and not knowing who the Mimic is because he hadn't played Ruin, but still kind of understanding it being connected to FNAF in some sort of way, so yeah.
It's a game that everyone can enjoy right at the top, but that's just this thin veneer at the top. And then very quickly you start moving into deeper secrets and deeper connections and, harder gameplay and, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's exciting. From the trailer, we see, like I've mentioned before, new characters and stuff. Are there any that haven't been shown yet?
Yep, knew it.
There's a lot, oh my gosh. Huge shout out,
Yeah.
by the way, to our characters team. When I pitched them,
yeah, they're gonna be like the Lion Varsity Jacket, the Crow, and there's probably gonna be like some more. Probably some from Tales as well.
This game's gonna be,
because we haven't seen all of them.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yep.
Oh no. There's too many characters. It's like, no, we can do this. I believe in them, and they pulled it off today.
Oh, that's so cool. Awesome. Did you guys have, because this game's set in the 70s, right? Did you guys have any other influences that inspired this game at all, like movies or other games?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously FNAF games are like the biggest influence, but outside of the FNAF games, I really was pulling off from Alien Isolation early on.
Oh, let's go.
A really great point of reference for us, especially because Alien being kind of like a retro futurism of the 70s anyway. It has some interesting aesthetic tie-ins as well as the game. Into they're like horror. These guys, they make paths around their like movie props, and they're constantly just so much creativity spilling out of every corner. And then a lot of the digital VFX guys in those shops work next to the practical VFX guys, so they're on their computers, but they're getting like splatters from the paint and stuff. And it's just such a really cool gritty environment, and we really wanted to pull from that. So, a while back we did some work with Tippett, and we went there. It was many years ago, and they're the guy that did the Jurassic Park, practical VFX and stuff. So, it was really great seeing that. Those were, I'd say, our biggest real world inspirations.
That is so cool.
By the way, I was about to say, when you said movie props, like, we're talking about, like...
So, yeah, like, in the factory, like, from some of the screenshots...
By the way, he was talking about movie props. That reminded me of VST, because Scott described Vincent's Sigma Trap as his original purpose not being able to move originally. So I wonder if we're going to just see the spring Bonnie suit that ends up becoming the suit that VST wears, with like the Sprinlock mimic inside of it just propped up in like just being some sort of prop in like the factory, and then we keep seeing him over and over again, but it turns out the Sprinlock mimic is actually moving around and is spying on us the entire time because it's Vincent who's doing it. So like Vincent doing the spying, like Vincent doing the spying through it. So
we got some of the rooms in the trailer, like shelving units with just a bunch of random.
That looks a bit like the parking lot actually with the ground, and that looks a bit like the shelving units. We've seen similar shelving units in like the Mimic's lair.
Different props and stuff everywhere. Yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait for that because like I'm assuming you guys have put like props and stuff in that FNAF fans are probably gonna pick up on. So
yeah. That's when Regular Sauce was playing, he'd be like going through some of these and be like, oh my god, that looks just like my workshop. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Developing this game, has it been a challenge? Have you had some like challenges you've had to face, or has it been just a breeze basically? I don't feel like anything is a breeze. There's some ups and downs with every project and stuff.
Yeah, collaboratively
That's pretty
making art has a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And I would say this game has gone a lot more smoothly than maybe you would expect. I think this was one of our better productions as far as that goes.
So it's basically saying that Secret of the Mimic had a smoother development cycle than Security Breach. Yeah, I guess Secret of the Mimic is just automatically better than Security Breach then, guys. Let's go.
I think the team is absolutely amazing.
I'm still being skeptically optimistic because we don't really know how good the game is until it actually comes out. But so far, from what I can tell, it's going to be like, unless I regret saying this later in like a review of the game, it's literally better than Security Breach. But I hope I don't have to roast Secret of the Mimic at one point. I really hope I don't. I mentioned how I didn't even have VST in it. Maybe a joke review where we say, "Oh, Secret of the Mimic didn't add VST in it, so it's automatically bad." We'll just do a bit of an IGN sort of review where we do that, where it's like too much water, 0 out of 10, or something like. Well, despite the game being challenging, we couldn't even get past the tutorial. Yeah. Can't wait to do that review, guys. The IGN
really
launch.
pushing the boundaries of what we as a studio are capable of.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but I think this game is some of the best work this studio's ever made.
Wow.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
You can't even answer this, but after Secret of the Mimic, are you guys still in your FNAF brains? After Secret
Yes,
of the
in a
Mimic?
elusive manner.
Future plans?
I wouldn't have.
I think it's obvious. Right, I'm gonna get the next poster up because when I saw this one, it made my brain start functioning a bit better than it is at the moment. Next poster that Steel sent me, again, thank you so much.
So this was important because this is key to VST theory. So Vincent starts off as basic when he first works with Edwin. Then he becomes a security guard, which lines up with him being the fright guard. Then he starts to repair stuff, and then he repairs the Mimic. So he like repairs animatronics, and then he maybe, for example, uses this security. Maybe him being a security guard is how he manages to infiltrate into the room which controls the Showtime programs, which causes the incident. Then repair is him possibly maybe helping the Mimic repair itself. Creators referring how to he probably created the Spring Bonnie the Easter Bunny suit, mascot suit. Then he becomes an admin who's able to access unauthorized areas, and then he's able to control the Showtime programs, and then there's executive, which he becomes after Edwin promotes him to be the deputy head of a company, and then after Edwin goes, he becomes the CEO. So, yeah.
Yeah. This one made me feel like...
There's MCM there with, like, that... Wait, MCM is like a diamond symbol as a security.
A bit more. So, the poster says, where do you
Belong.
Basic.
I think this is just like a gameplay mechanic, but I think it's lore heavy.
With a nose, and at the top right it's MCM. I'm guessing is that Murray's costume manner?
I think, yeah. That
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Or is it just a poster?
Well, it's not random.
Yeah.
There's definitely ties to the game and the progression of the game.
The symbol that made me think the most is the executive symbol.
Yeah.
If this is the date, like if the data diver has these different things, it's hard. Do these different symbols give us access to different areas?
That would be one thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to theorize with you.
Yeah, it's hard to do this when you just game's lore.
It's very exciting. It really is.
If I get an early...
Do you guys have anything cool planned?
By the way, I was just about to say, if they give me an early copy of Secret of the Mimic in, like, CEX or something, then, yeah, we'll just start doing the game before it even really... No, I won't do that. We'll record the videos of Secret of the Mimic, and then we'll set to upload, then we'll schedule the upload for when the game releases, and then label it as spoilers. Or we'll already put images that were already in the teasers.
Of the game.
Yeah, so after the interview launches, be sure to stay tuned for our socials, and maybe we'll tease something out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can't wait for that. Get everybody hyped up for the release. It's coming up very... It's came around so quickly.
Yeah.
It feels like last week I was at PAX playing the game in VR. It's crazy how quickly development with games go. Like, Security Breach was like, what, 4 years ago when it released?
Yeah.
It's weird. Any final thoughts that you want to give out to the fans watching?
Yeah, you know, I just want to like, quickly...
I just noticed, like, the interaction button looks a bit like the security symbol. Just let me go back in the footage a bit.
Watching?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can see then that white dot looks like a security symbol, so there is a mechanic in the game. I didn't notice that in the trailer at first.
Quickly, Dawko, say thank you. You know, thank you to you.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone who ends up watching this. You know, we love making FNAF games.
Yes, I live in brief FNAF as well as Kingdom Hearts, my other favourite.
You know, like I said before, we make games for the fans, and that's like a
Yeah.
responsibility. You know, everyone loves this franchise so much, and that's a responsibility that we take really seriously.
Yeah.
So to see the community like reaction to the demo and the trailers and like all the fan art that's been being made, you know, it just means a lot. So yeah, thank you.
It's going to be so exciting. I'm sure everybody's going to love it. The reaction to the game, you know, was so positive when the trailer came out and stuff.
Yeah.
You guys seem to be experimenting with gameplay mechanics and stuff like that, like taking FNAF in a fresh direction, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like it needed that. I really do. I'm so grateful for you guys and thankful for Scott for finding you guys in the first place.
Yeah, because I think Steel will only... Let me just think about this. I don't think Steel will... I don't think Steel will were ready to take on I don't think Steel will were ready to take on as much as a big project. Because I don't think Steel will were ready to take on as much as a big project as Security Breach. But now that Secret of the Mimic is a bit, like, better than Security Breach, judging by what the Steel Wool said in the interview, then yeah, I guess Scott really did make the right choice in the end.
When Help Wanted came out, and you know, you guys have been doing amazing things since then, so
Yeah.
it's very exciting, very
I mean,
exciting.
Security Breach was a letdown, but everything else was good.
Can't wait.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What are you most excited about from what you've seen? What's the thing you most want to see in the game?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, is it? Let's get excited.
I want... Everything I've seen so far is great, by the way. But I want... The thing what I love about FNAF is juicy lore.
Yeah, VST lore.
So much.
Ask for VST, please, Dawko, and I'll immediately, like, start sharing this video around.
And I just want to know, like, what's going on, like, Fazbear Entertainment's involvement, and...
Yeah, and Vincent.
I'd love to... I'd really, really love to see some involvement with Fredbear's Family Diner and...
I'm sorry, I mean, and Vincent.
See those Fredbear Family Diner posters on the walls everywhere.
And Vincent.
I don't know. I
And Vincent, come on.
Vincent,
come on, Vincent. What about Vincent?
Just the story about Edwin as well.
And Vincent, come on.
Edwin's involvement, like what's Edwin been up to, and obviously lore about the mimic.
Yeah, Vincent. Come, Vincent, come on.
Fazbear Entertainment's involvement, like them wanting the mimic so badly, and
yeah, and Vincent, come on.
The ending of this game too, I'm very, very interested in.
Okay, I didn't mention Vincent. How dare you, Dawko? How dare you not mention VST? But anyway, I am interested in the ending of this game. I want to see VST in full rendered not pixelated, but fully rendered quality in an ending. Like he was in like Security Breach's ending, but instead of limping around, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be like, I don't know what it's gonna be doing actually.
In the future games, like Edwin, it's kind of forgotten about, right? And I just want to see just what happens with the factory and just again,
yeah.
With Fazbear Entertainment.
You forgot Vincent, man. You forgot Vincent Sigma Trap. You forgot Vincent Sigma Trap, Dawko.
I'd love to see like Henry or William being involved somehow.
Yeah, cool. I want to see how that goes as well as Vincent Sigma Trap.
So, yeah. You obviously can't confirm anything.
Yeah, no, I can't confirm that, but hopefully we won't disappoint.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Evan. So from this interview, you answered the question so passionately.
Yeah.
Where did that like passion of like game development come from? Have you got like any? I'd love to learn more about you. You know, I'm sure everybody else would too.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him before.
At the end of the day, you know, I feel like I'm an artist, and games in general, I think, are the ultimate art form.
Yeah.
It has the aesthetics and narrative. I started my career in animation, and so
yeah, because Steel used to be like an animation company, didn't they?
Being able to tell stories is something that I love. I think the games do it better than anybody else.
Yeah.
That being said, the FNAF community is why I love making FNAF games. Truly, we've worked on a couple different IPs in the past, and you know, the communities there are fine, but nothing compared to FNAF games.
Yeah.
We've been working on this franchise since Help Wanted 1. That was, I don't know, I think we started maybe like 8 years ago now or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just been an amazing experience. So thank you.
Wait, 8 years ago? Wait, 8 years ago is 2017 in this context. Oh, wait, hold on a second, let me just... Wait, when did it help what? Oh, it released 7 years... No, it released 6 years ago. Wait, was he talking about when they were, like, working on Help Wanted initially in 2017 when he announced it? Yeah, probably that was what they were talking about.
Thank you so much, Evan. We're going to end it there, guys. I hope
Yeah.
you guys really enjoyed the interview, and it's hyped you up more for Secret of the
Yes,
Mimic.
it has.
I'm sure there's
Dawko.
lots more hype to come after this interview
Yes, it has.
from Steelwall. So that's very, very exciting. And yeah, I just can't wait. I can't wait. From what you've said, Evan, about how long the game is and how much exploration there is, and it's very exciting. I can't really speak how excited I am, like I really truly am, and yeah, that will be on the channel, guys. Massive thank you, Steel, for giving me this opportunity to interview the wonderful Evan. Shout out to Aisha and Jessica as well, who are lurking in the call, listening to everything I say.
What? There are 2 other people in the call lurking? What? That's insane. There were 2 other people on the call as well who listened to everything.
Just make sure
That's,
to get hyped and ready.
that
It's
is
very,
that
very
is
exciting.
like
And
that is very interesting.
yeah, just a massive thank you again, Evan. Steel, everybody, I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are more excited now. And yeah, I don't know what to say now, so I'm just going to end it because I keep rambling.
Yes, you do, like I do, Dawko, and you need to finish the video.
And yeah, you'll see me find Secret of the Mimic in about a month or so. Probably screaming my head off. So yeah. Bye, guys.
Right, I have to end the video as well because it's gonna nearly be an hour long. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video on oh god, it's an hour now. Oh, I didn't expect it to be this long. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video on FNAF Secret of the Mimic Steel interview by Dawko. Huge shout out to Dawko, by the way, for making the video. Go watch the original video if you want it. It's right up here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.